So as I was saying, we had like 68 feet in one direction, 47 feet in the other, and I can tell you there was no aggregate there, and we haven't had any issues or cracking or any quality issues. So I can see where if you were having chronic issues, it would be a problem. We might change the standard, but I see no problem with it at this point.
Okay. Additional questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the motion that's now on the floor, will, your name is called, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Ratcliffe,
Aye.
Snow,
Aye.
Stevens,
No.
Arivalo,
Aye.
Brereton,
Aye.
Flurry,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
McGee,
Aye.
Porter,
No.
8 in favor.
Motion is approved. And I would comment that if we start to have a negative result from these, then of course we can amend what the requirements are and don't do that through council if need be. Next, please. Alderman Freeman, item D.
Okay, thank you. I can't hear you at all, Mayor. D, motion to approve the low bid from Area Services in the amount of $23,404.98 for the 2021 landscape maintenance program. This work will be paid for from street department line items number 01-5-310-6002 and number 01-505-310-6826.
Motion on committee. Questions, comments, or further discussion concerning the motion now on the floor? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval will, when your name is called, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Snow,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
Arivalo,
Aye.
Brereton,
Aye.
Flurry,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
McGee,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Ratcliffe,
Aye.
10 in favor.
Motion is approved unanimously. It brings us to item E.
E, motion to approve the low bid from Tree Care Enterprises in the amount of $51,600 for tree work from May 1st, 2021 to April 30th, 2022 for the city of Belvidere. This work will be paid for from forestry funds.
Motion out of committee. Questions, comments, or further discussion concerning the motion now on the floor? Alderman Porter, please.
Okay, so Brent, you said that we're gonna work to stay within that $40,000 budget that we have for this one?
Correct, as we progress through the seasons, and if that becomes an issue, we'll be back to council to advise, so forth, but I don't foresee us going over the 40,000, the budgeted amount, unless we have through storm damage, emergency type work.
Additional questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval will, when your name is called, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Stevens,
Aye.
Arivalo,
Aye.
Brereton,
Aye.
Flurry,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
McGee,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Ratcliffe, Snow,
Aye.
10 in favor.
Motion is approved unanimously, which brings us to item F. Item F.
Motion to approve the low bid from Lawn Care by Walter in the amount of $350 per mowing for the mowing of water department sites. This work will be paid for from water department line item number 61-5-810-6040.
Motion on the committee. Questions, comments, or further discussion concerning the motion now on the floor?
I have a question for Brent. So Brent, the next two motions following this one are all lawn care by Walter, and in your memo last week, it was the following bid was received for mowing, and I don't see any other bids besides lawn care by Walter. Is that the only bid you received for all three of these?
Yes, that was the only mowing bid we received this year for this, for all three of the areas. There was one other bidder that was anticipating on it, and he had issues with his bid bond and did not get that in time to submit his bid. So we were left with just the one bid this year.
Okay, is that typical, or do we usually have more than just one bid to go by, don't we?
Typically, yes. It's happened in the past where we've only had one, but typically we have more than one. I think last year I think we had 3 different contracts. We actually had each of the 3 areas were done by a separate contractor. So last year we had 3 bids, Lawn Care by Walter being one of them. They've done the mowing, some or all of the mowing in the past as well. But yeah, this year we only had the one bid.
Okay, thank you.
Additional questions or comments concerning the motion now on the floor? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval will, when your name is called, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Arivalo,
Aye.
Brereton,
Aye.
Flurry,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
McGee,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Ratcliffe, Snow,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
10 in favor.
Motion approved unanimously brings us to item G.
G, motion to approve the low bid from Lawn Care by Walter in the amount of $720 per mowing for the mowing of the public works sites. This work will be paid for from Street Department line item number 01-5-310-6002.
Motion out of committee. Questions, comments, or further discussion concerning the motion now on the floor? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval will, when your name is called, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Brereton,
Aye.
Flurry,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
McGee,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Ratcliffe,
Aye.
Snow,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
Arivalo,
Aye.
10 in favor.
Motion is approved unanimously, which brings us to item H.
H, motion to approve the low bid from Lawn Care by Walter in the amount of $225 per mowing for the Farmington Pond. This work will be paid for from the Farmington Pond Maintenance Fund.
Motion out of committee. Questions, comments, or further discussion concerning the motion now on the floor? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval will, when your name is called, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay.
Flurry,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye.
Freeman,
Aye.
McGee,
Aye.
Porter,
Aye.
Ratcliffe,
Aye.
Snow,
Aye.
Stevens,
Aye.
Arivalo,
Aye.
Brereton,
Aye.
10 in favor.
Motion approved unanimously. Thank you, Chairman Freeman. Yes, Alderman Snow.
And this is kind of a generic for all this mowing. So who dictates or what dictates when those areas are mowed? Somebody monitors how many inches, because I know we've got an 8-inch rule for residential and things like that.
So yes, it's based on how much rain we get, how dry it is, how it maintains. Sometimes they'll be mowed weekly, sometimes they'll be mowed every 2 weeks, sometimes we may be able to go longer, all depends on how the grass is going in those particular areas.
But is it your
The
department?
Public Works Department makes those calls.
Okay, that brings us to motions of public safety, which will be presented by Chairman Brereton. Chairman Brereton, you have the floor. Item I.
Thank you. Aye. Motion to authorize the Belvedere Police Department to hire an entry-level police officer to fill the COSAP grant position.
A correction of terminology here is to backfill the position caused by using a experienced officer to fill the COSAP grant position. It was kind of tight going on here, I guess. And thanks to, I believe that Alderman Porter also recognized that the wording was not correct here. So this would be a new officer to backfill the position that will be created by assigning an experienced officer as the COSAC grant officer. Motion on the committee. Questions, comments, or further discussion concerning the motion now on the floor?
I have something.
Please, go ahead.
So we are, as we all know, 3 weeks out from an election that will produce a new governing body with new members and potentially a new administration whose budget will be affected for at least the next 3 years by this. I think it's only fair that we table this, so I make a motion to table this until after May 3rd.
I need some advice from the city attorney. We've already approved the officer for the COSAC grant. This is to approve a new hire to backfill the position created. So I think we need clarification on this. Is that correct? Am I assuming that that is what it's really about here?
No, I made a motion to table this until after the election so that the new governing body will be able to determine whether they would like their budget affected by this for the next 3 years or not. So I made a motion, and I need a second.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. I still am not sure everybody's clear on what we're tabling. The COSAC grant officer was approved. And we've already been through that process. This is a different motion to authorize the hiring of an entry-level officer to backfill the position created by the officer who will be assigned the COSAC grant. So we have a motion and a second. Yes, sir.
At a meeting of the county board, about a month ago, the sheriff made the statement that there will be no officer classes until 2022. So even though we have our name on this, he said there's none till then because of the pandemic.
There are no guaranteed spots, but as I've stated previously, we are on the waiting list for a couple of different classes. And if those spots open up, we could get into an academy earlier than 2022, as early as potentially May, but possibly we'll have slots also in September. At this point, we're not going to know until they go through their rosters to find out exactly how many people are going to maintain those positions as to whether or not they're going to be open.
So what happens if we don't elect to fill this backfill position now, going forward? So the COSAP grant officer's already been approved, so we'll just go forward and we'll be one short?
Well, let me answer this. So my understanding, and I have Amanda Mail also on the line. My understanding, if this does not get voted on tonight, either one way or the other, a table or a nay vote, essentially declining to hire this officer that the budget has been marked for. The Department of Justice could then take the $600,000 and conduct a review of the different things that the Health Department has requested and then ultimately make a decision on whether or not they're going to allow the health department to have that grant money. Amanda, did I miss anything? You care to fill in the blanks for me?
Hi, Chief Woody. Good evening, and good evening, Mayor Chamberlain and members of the City Council. Amanda here with the Boone County Health Department. I think we did discuss this at the last meeting, that the pieces of the grant are fit together in such a way that asking for a budget amendment if we are unable to complete our 9-month planning process, which we're in the middle of right now, does affect the entire $599,000 that we were approved by the Department of Justice. I wouldn't recommend that we get behind on that timeline, because we do have to spend down the funds and or ask for a budget amendment. And the pieces that have been put together for this grant fit together in such a way that it will be hard to do the other portions of the grant without this CLEO officer being hired and in place to start that 3-year process.
Excuse me, but I believe a motion to table is not debatable. So I'm not sure why we're debating this. I made a motion. I received a second. I would call the question.
Need a roll call?
Need a roll call vote on that.
But we are allowed to discuss the motion, correct?
No, motion on table is a non-debatable motion.
Okay.
Which should have been pointed out by our Attorney Durella before the discussion and debate took place. As soon as I made the motion, it should have been non-debatable. So can we take a vote, please?
Frank?
Aye.
I do what?
Table?
Freeman?
Aye.
McGee?
Aye.
Porter?
Aye.
Ratcliffe?
No.
Snow?
No.
Stevens?
Yes.
Arivalo?
Nay.
Brereton?
Aye.
Frank? Flurry?
Nay.
6 in favor.
Motion is carried. Which brings us to item 11, adjournment. I have a motion to adjourn. Everybody's favorite, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.